My fellow Toastmasters, I would like to share with you three main points in my speech: desire, action, and failures. First, let me talk about the desire. As human beings, we all like to live a happy, successful, and fulfilling life. As professionals, we all like to be leaders. We want to be financially independent. We like to be respected. We have a lot of desires, and we want a lot. But how bad do we really want all these? Let me tell you a story. A financially broken man approached a business guru, asked him about how to make big bucks. The guru led him to a beach, dragged him into water. They walked further and further away from the beach into the ocean until the poor guy's whole body totally sunk into the water, so much so that he could not breathe. He wanted to survive. He wanted the fresh air. He wanted to breathe, so that he fought against the guru and finally emerged out of the water. The guru told him that if you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, you will be successful. Some of us think that we like to be successful. What we really mean is that we somehow, somewhat like to be successful. We possibly are not really serious about it. If success requires us to sacrifice our weekend or to stay after 5 o'clock, that might be too much to some of us. If success requires us to lose some sleep, that might be off limit to some of us. If we really want to be successful, we need to treasure that opportunity to success as much as we treasure our livelihood on being able to breathe. If we cannot breathe, we die. We need to be dead serious about success. Second point that I like to bring out is action. I was taught at a very young age that about the typical Oriental preaching about no pain, no gain. In order to let us taste the sweetest taste of the life, we need to first suffer the worst of the bitterness and put in that extra mile. In the real world, we often see glories of other people's victory and do not know the behind-the-scene blood, sweat, and the tears. I was not very bright when I was a student. In the high school, we were asked to memorize text or part of the textbook or part of the paragraph within the class. My memory wasn't that good. So a paragraph that could be memorized by my classmates within several minutes, I had to do it in hours. I had to go home and spend extra time on it. I had to read very loud so that I can inject those things into my memory. I tried hard, very hard, so much so that I studied very late during the night. Going to bed around 2 a.m. in the morning was a norm to me. So I learned during my early stage of the life that life was not easy. In order to stay ahead, I had to put in that extra effort. But I also learned that life is like an amplifier. You've all studied the physics before, hopefully. Amplifier is like you put something into as an input, you get some output in return. and that output is bigger and better a lot of times. So life is the same thing. If we invest effort into this life amplifier, we will get something better and bigger in return. We will get nothing if we invest nothing into it. Life, however, is not a zero-sum game. We do not have to gain at the expense of other people. I know that in our day-to-day life, there are many hardworking Americans, which Ronald Reagan referred to as heroes in his inaugural presidential speech. To them I salute. On the other hand, there are people who's just doing minimal to be marginally qualified. To them, doing minimal is okay, which I can hardly understand. We live in a too great of a nation to limit ourselves to small dreams, I think. And I do not believe that luck will not fall on us, no matter what we do. And I do believe that fate will fall on us if we do nothing. The last point I'd like to share with you is about failures. Sometimes we are afraid of dreaming bigger dreams because we are afraid of failures. Failure to some of us is like the snake who bit us before. We became so afraid of it that sometimes we are afraid of stepping on a piece of the lawn. It is true that failures can be painful experience, but had we learned from our past failures, we shall get up from it and move on. Our failures are just disguise for success. Think back all the times we failed before. We would at least learn something that we do not know. The more we pursue our goals, the more we realize the rule of cause and effect. Things do not happen out of no reason. Opportunity does not fall on you out of nowhere. Life is too short. We only have it once. And we only have several years to be alive in this universe. We should try our best and make some splashes. We shall not regret at the end that we have not tried hard enough and we wasted our talents. To sum up, I think life should be spent like this. At the end of our life, we look back and we shall not regret that we have not tried to make any differences in this world, that we merely wasted time and being mediocre. We shall be able to tell ourselves that, yes, we had failures, but we learned from it. At the end of the life, we want to tell ourselves that we are not ashamed of ourselves because we not only tried our best, but also we have surpassed above and beyond our capacities. So let us be all we can be. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.